Now that we know how to work with symmetry, I want to check that we can do it if I just give you an equation. So sine 300 degrees, what does that equal? Well, I know I'm looking for an exact value. So on the table on my cheat sheet, I could be like, cool, I know I'm going to be using one of those sine values. So it's going to be root 3 on 2 or root 2 on 2 or a half. It's going to be one of those guys. So what we're going to do is figure out where 360 degrees is in our circle. So 300, not 360. Well, I know this is 0, 90, 180, 270. So if I'm looking for sine, he's going to be down here in this quadrant, which is my cast quadrant. So I know my answer is going to be negative. The next thing I want to do is figure out, well, 360 degrees. I know in my first quadrant, I have pi on 3, 6, which is 30 degrees. I have pi on 4, which is 45 degrees. And I have pi on 3, which is 60 degrees. I want to somehow relate 360 degrees back to one of those. So what I can do is figure out that, well, 300 is 60 degrees away from 360. So from symmetry, I know, so sine 300 is the same as 360 minus 60. Beautiful. We always want to relate things back to 360 and 180 or pi and 2 pi. Because I now know that because this is the angle I'm talking about, that's going to be the same as just finding sine of 60 because of symmetry, because my triangles are all the same. So sine of 60 degrees is going to be root 3 on 2. So our answer is root 3 on 2. And that's it. But it's negative. We figured that out because we're down in the cos quadrant. Okay, so we've done our first one. Next one, well, cos 7 pi on 6. Well, where's 7 pi on 6? Well, I know this is 2 pi, this is pi on 2, pi, and 3 pi on 2. Okay, 7 pi on 6. Well, 6 pi on 6 is the same as pi, so 7 pi on 6 is going to be down here. So that is the tan quadrant. So I know my answer is going to be negative. So it's going to be negative cos. So I can write the next step as, well, I know 7 pi on 6 is the same as pi plus pi on 6. Hey presto, that's our base angle. So now we know that's the same as cos pi on 6. So cos of pi on 6 is going to be negative root 3 on 2. And that's what we do. Alright, one more. Sine 7 pi on 4. Cool. Once again, where is 7 pi on 4? Well, this is 4 pi on 4. 6 pi on 4. 8 pi on 4. So 7 pi on 4 is going to be there. So we once again need to relate it back to one of our base angles. Well, sine of 7 pi on 4. Okay, well, we're down in this cos quadrant, so we know it's going to be negative sine. So then 7 pi on 4 is the same as 8 pi on 4 minus pi on 4, so that's 2 pi minus pi on 4. So that's our base angle. We can also pull it just straight from the question, or as soon as we see that it's on 4, we know our answer is going to be on 4. Just like up here, this was on 6, so our base angle was pi on 6. Alright, so we know that's negative sine of pi on 4, which equals negative root 2 on 2, because you just pull the answer for sine of pi on 4 off your cheat sheet. Cool, so that's symmetry with our known exact values. Here I've been given some different exact values. I've been given sine of alpha equals 0.32. Cos of beta equals 0.9 and tan of theta equals 0.4. So I want to know, what are these things if I change it around and use symmetry in my circle? So sine of pi plus alpha. Okay, So this pi plus bit is just telling me that I was here at pi and I went a bit more of an angle around, which puts me in the tan quadrant. So I know my answer is going to be negative sine of my angle. So that's going to be negative, because we know sine alpha equals 0.32, 0.32. And that's how easy it is. With my next one, sine 2 pi minus alpha. Okay, well, I was over at 2 pi and I went back alpha, which puts me in the cos quadrant. So once again, I know my answer is going to be negative. I've dealt with the 2 pi minus bit now, so I just have the alpha left over. So it's negative whatever sine alpha equals. That's all we have to do. So this bit here is just telling you what quadrant you're in, so you can figure out whether your answer is positive or negative. Okay, cos pi minus beta. Well, pi is here and I went back beta, so I am in the sine quadrant, so our answer is negative. We're just left with the beta, and cos beta equals 0.9, so negative 0.91. And that's it. 2 pi minus beta, so over here we were at 2 pi, we minus beta, so we're in the cos quadrant, so our answer is positive cos of beta. So it's 0.91. Same deal with tan. So tan, we're at pi and we add theta. We are in the tan quadrant, so our answer is positive tan of theta, so it's 0.4. Okay, 2 pi plus theta, so 2 pi plus theta gets me here. So I'm in the all quadrant, so it's positive tan of theta. And that's all symmetry is. So making sure you can do those questions.